Hey, what's up guys, Ghost here, and today I'm going to go over which is better and more effective, seeing footsteps with tracker or hearing footsteps with awareness. So I've been wanting to do this video for a long time now, but it did take a while to test out in public matches to see what works the best. So what I'm going to tell you guys is all based off of my experience, and my experience might be different from yours. So if what I tell you does not work well for you, well, that is my experience with the perks, and like I said earlier, we're all going to have different experiences with tracker and awareness. So what I did to find out which is more effective of the two, I just went into regular games of TDM and domination, and I ran the perk tracker only. And yes, I did have like ghost, fast hands, but those don't really matter. Like what matters is tracker and awareness, just seeing footsteps versus hearing footsteps, which is better. So I played lots of games when I had the perk tracker only, and then I played games where I had awareness only, and then I played games where I had tracker plus awareness, both perks combined. So with that said, the first thing I'm going to go over is seeing footsteps or tracker. I'm going to show all of you guys a ton of clips of where I'm using tracker to its full advantage. So tracker leaves a trail of orange footsteps wherever the enemy is headed. And the reason why it's pretty useful is because if you're playing objective-based game modes, or like domination, or any game mode in general, and you like to flank, it's perfect for that. So if you like to be sneaky and to surprise the enemy, tracker is definitely the way to go. Tracker also helps you locate enemies who have dead silence if you don't have awareness on, because if the enemies have dead silence and you don't have awareness, they will be completely silent to you. So instead of trying to hear their footsteps with awareness, you can just see their orange slash red trail of footsteps, because tracker, dead silence does not counter tracker. The only thing that counters tracker is hardwired. So the next thing I want to go over with tracker is what size map does it work best on. So from my experience, any size map works fine with tracker, but it works best whenever you enter a building, and it could work good out in the open, but for the most part I found enemies with tracker like I did here, entering buildings like on Hunted, on Fringe. Like you guys will be seeing a ton of clips of me finding enemies like inside of buildings with tracker, like on Hunted you're seeing here, and on Fringe later on. And also you could see their footsteps underwater too, which is pretty funny, and it's pretty useful as well. It does kind of help out sometimes, but it doesn't really work underwater, but it can work underwater. So now let's go over one major problem I had with tracker. So tracker only works effectively if you're trying to get behind the enemy, because their footsteps show up behind them and not in front of them. So the problem I had was I would rush around corners and die, as well sometimes I would get flanked because I had no clue there are enemies around me, and since I don't have awareness to hear their footsteps, I would die because of that. And like I said earlier, I'm telling you my experience with only tracker. So in these clips here, I only had tracker, I didn't have awareness yet, so I had no clue there are enemies around me because I couldn't hear their footsteps. Because in this game, footsteps are just so silent without awareness. I do have a pretty good headset, but hearing footsteps without awareness is just so hard to do, and that's why I had problems with it, because like by the time I would see them, I would die because I had no clue their enemies coming around the corner. So now I'm going to go over my experience with just having awareness. So all these clips on evac, I do have awareness and blast suppressor. I do not have tracker, because if I did, you guys would see the orange footsteps. So awareness makes enemy movements easier to hear, so whenever they slide, they wall run, or just walk or run in general, that's all louder than normal with awareness on. So when I had awareness on, I would always know if enemies are coming towards me or if they're just around me. You could hear the footsteps from a pretty far distance, but not as far as it used to be, because if you didn't know, they did nerf awareness. They just reduced the range of which you could hear footsteps with awareness. Like awareness was it was a powerful perk before they nerfed it. Like it's still powerful now, like the range is it's reasonable, you could hear footsteps still, but it's not as powerful as it once was. But the main reason why hearing footsteps with awareness is great and so useful is because you can get the first shot on the enemy, therefore winning the gunfight. So since you hear them coming towards you, like right here, just wait for them, right? And once you wait, just pre-aim wherever they're coming from, down and then shoot when you see them, and it's just very unexpected for the enemy because they don't expect you to like wait there for them, you know, like no one expects that to happen. So that's why awareness works great. So what if you combine tracker and awareness? Is it useful? Is it better than just having one of the two perks? So in my opinion, they work best and amazingly well when they are put together. Just like how awareness and dead silence work well, I think tracker and awareness work great. And if you want, you can combine all those perks with dead silence as well and be like extra stealthy and just an amazingly good flanker, which I highly recommend you guys do. So if you want to like run like Sixth Sense, dead silence, awareness, and tracker, you'll be extra aware of the enemy. And having both awareness and tracker helps out because if you're inside of a building and you hear footsteps outside where you're at, you can chase them down. Not only hear the footsteps, but you'll see what path they took. For example, right here with this situation, I heard footsteps outside of this building and I went out to see where he went, and tracker showed his trail of footsteps and I got him. And having both awareness and tracker makes you extra aware of the enemies, and I think that they both work well together. I think having like just tracker doesn't work as well because you won't hear enemies around you, therefore you won't know where the enemies are with tracker on. You kind of gotta be lucky or just guess with tracker. For example, right here, I was pretty lucky that I found this guy, but he died because I just happened to be jumping out of a window and that guy's footsteps showed up. I didn't even know he was right there at all, but he died anyways by the rolling thunder. But you kind of gotta be lucky. Like right here too, I took a guess and there was a guy over there, but he did kill me because he did have Sixth Sense on. So it's just all about luck when you only have tracker on and just taking guesses and flanking the enemy. But if you have both of them on, they work pretty well together. So overall, I think that seeing footsteps isn't as good as hearing footsteps. So hearing footsteps is better in my opinion with just my experience. I think that's better because you get to like pre-aim corners more often and you get to be more aware, hence awareness, with awareness on rather than, you know, having tracker on and taking guesses. So that was the video, and before I forget to tell you guys, next time you play Black Ops 3, try a few games with tracker only and then awareness only, and then try both combined together and see how it works for you. So that was the video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.